women should have the right 100% to control what happens with their bodies, the energy that comes into their inner circle, not to be like harassed or have people, men especially, pushing themselves on them just because they exist in a body. Like, that's inappropriate and shouldn't be happening. And it shouldn't, an extension of this is just because any individual wants to wear something glamorous or something that maybe a little bit revealing, that's not an open invitation and should never be thought of as an open invitation for any inappropriate magnetism. And I've heard a lot of men especially saying, well, look at what somebody is wearing, in context to like women. Like, that's retarded. Any woman that wants to dress in a beautiful manner or adorn her body or is, comfortable in her own skin should be allowed to wear whatever she wants. And the benchmark of whether or not somebody gives you sexual advances should be pretty clear cut. If you aren't inviting that energy forth, junior high, high school, young women. I remember myself being in junior high and high school and how kind of terrible the women were to me specifically, and all throughout high school as well. And I didn't do anything to any of these women. I was always super nice, super shy. I loved reading books. I have no idea really what warranted the sort of just negative vortex that I experienced in school. Not that it matters to me now, but I remember being very, very afraid to go to school. I remember women being very cruel when I was in school. Young girls, they weren't women at that age. But I think the message that I'm trying to send is that every young person, every young woman specifically, because I'm talking about women in this video, has so much value. And all women are insecure. All women are fragile to a certain extent. I mean, we're strong, but we're fragile as well. And we're very fragile to the opinions of society, the opinions of others, especially if we're looked down upon or picked on, that kind of thing. It can be a hard thing to work through mentally, right? Because again, just being a woman, it's like there's so many things about our body that we have to kind of like keep secret, or like that feels like it's not the same as it is for guys. Like everything about a guy's body is kind of like celebrated and in male culture. For women, everything's kind of like hush hush and keep it secret and all these things. And so again, it is a little bit difficult being a young girl and a young woman and growing up as women do. And then you kind of layer the negative way that females tend to sometimes pull each other down. This is something that, as a culture of women, and as we look at women's empowerment, we have to find a way to, again, as women, not over-identify with our bodies. Because yes, it's not great when men do it, but I see so many women doing it as well. It's like constantly worrying about talking about the way bodies look and then comparing them and sizing them up and, looking at other women and casting judgment and being, a little bit, sometimes like not very nice about bodies and the feminine form and really judgmental about what other women are doing. And I just think that that's such a negative energy. It's not a sisterhood when we're doing that. And at any given time, we don't know what somebody's situation is. So we don't know. I mean, here's an example. My aunt is going through a really difficult time. She's hospitalized right now and she's not caring for herself. She's not having the time to brush her hair. She's having obviously a medical crisis, and her bodily hygiene is definitely not paramount. But being in judgment of that or seeing her as less than it's not a right frame of mind, and it's not good to judge somebody based on, again, the way that they're looking. She needs help, she needs love, she needs support. And another extreme of this is sometimes people will dress or undress, be like very, very provocative or very, very flamboyant. And it's almost like a shield or a mask, okay? So they will utilize this persona to kind of almost protect themselves against the world. Because I know I've done it in the past myself. So you just never know what somebody's going through. So to judge them, I think is just, any kind of judgment hurts others. It's not a good energy to be in. And we have to understand that the highest expression of beingness is acceptance for all, and just a sort of pervasive peace. And this peace being just acceptance for all others where they are right now, without the need to nitpick, tear them apart, project something broken within ourselves onto them. And I think that this is really important, this idea of projection, because anytime we look at somebody and, start saying, well, this person is this way because, or he or she is doing this because, or they didn't earn the right to have this or that. Like maybe if we're looking at celebrities, and they have this fabulous lifestyle, you can sit there and start to think a million reasons why they don't deserve it, or maybe they're not, I don't know, some sort of a judgment, right? And that energy is really detrimental to one's own success as well, because it allows you to make a whole bunch of judgmental, projective excuses as to why that person maybe is where they are. Or again, I've never understood jealousy or judgment or anything like that, but I've witnessed other people doing it, and it's a very uncreative energy. It's a very backwards energy, and it doesn't actually help that other person in terms of, you are using your energy and your words and your aura to project out negativity towards that person. So on some energetic level, you are affecting them in the quantum field, and it's not a nice reverberation that you're sending out. And then for yourself, if you're somebody that's engaging in that kind of negativity, it's actually something that person is triggering inside of you. So really, it's a mirror. You have to look at it, and maybe that's a part of you that you never fully developed, or you never really paid attention to, that's wanting a little bit of what that other person represents, but you're scared. You're scared to fully embrace that side of yourself. So instead, you get angry at it, or you want to fight it, or you want to judge it. Just some food for thought. Again, every time that we challenge our thought patterns and the way that we are, and we ask our consciousness to expand, we're in a good place. We're moving, we're leveling up. And again, it's all learning. So hopefully you can take from this video, or what I hope you take from this video, is a little extra dose of self-love, a little extra dose of kindness, maybe the spirit of, that childhood imaginary magnetism that allows you to just be whatever you want to be. Play that role, jump into that costume. Don't take everything so seriously in the sense of being this grown-up, because if it's not fun, why are you doing it? If being an adult isn't fun, what's the point? Life's supposed to be fun. Life's supposed to be beautiful. It's supposed to be an exciting adventure in every single moment. So if you're not embodying that, well, you should start.